And I just don't see a world where people will be able to continue to grow at a rapid pace without a proper, adequate team in place.
And I think the thing that I've come away with from both working at Origin and at CFS is that there needs to be somebody in play that knows the answers. There needs to be someone in play that can talk the talk, because everyone's going to have questions. And, I'm not scared to say, you know what, I don't know, but I'll find out. And I think making sure that agents are aware of the changes that are coming and they're aware of the differences in between the provincial regulators that exist right now, especially with the, interprovincial brokering is such a big thing, deal desks. It's such a big thing in the group now and in the industry as a whole. Again, there just needs to be someone to provide more exposure to the answers beyond, yes and no because I said so. You need to be able to say, no, I realize that that's the way in BC, but in Alberta, because of the Alberta Consumer Protection Act, we actually don't have to do this.
For sure. I mean, having someone like yourself that's devoted to this, I can tell you firsthand that compliance, whether it be provincial or FINTRAC, the legislation can be vague, right? And unfortunately, that's the way it's always going to be. So you have to go to these depths of finding someone and communicating directly with them, running your documentation by them, having deep conversations, hosting meetings with them, which, I know from experience, most of the industry doesn't do. They go with what they think is right. And unfortunately, when it comes time for an audit, when you think it's right and it's wrong, it's bad for everybody, right? So to have someone that's devoted to making sure that we're doing things above board, balancing it with the fact that we're dealing with business people that are self-employed and we're not trying to cripple their business, right? Like that's how we operate now and that's how we'll continue to operate. It just opens up so many more opportunities to ensure that we are doing things properly, adequately, and our brokers are educated on it, right? I think that's the biggest piece, especially when you get into a larger brokerage. Like, how do you educate 400 people, right? It's tough to do and you need to have consistent communication. I mean, the MSA in BC is launching or it's coming into play in about a year, a little bit over a year. But like we're already starting to put communication out on this to educate, to drip, right? Like we're doing as much as we can to make sure that agents don't have to go do this research themselves, which a lot of brokerages put the onus on the broker to figure it out. And, even the assessment that just came out, we put out communication on that and how to go about, filling it in because a lot of it unfortunately doesn't make sense for brokerages in BC. So yeah, this is a huge piece for me and I'm excited about it. And I think the just longevity too, as we talked about earlier, as you continue to grow, you have to make sure that your team is adequate, right? To your point, a lot of the industry is just sales and growth and that's the focus. And no one wants to spend time and money and energy on stuff like this. And I just don't see a world where people will be able to continue to grow at a rapid pace without a proper, adequate team in place.